Matt found out his girl had cheated. He'd seen friends go through similar situations before. He used to think they must have chosen partners prone to such behavior, which would never happen to him personally. He believed he had better taste in women and was more discerning when choosing a partner. He only let girls who were loyal and caring and would never betray his trust into his life. Turns out he was dead wrong. He'd been with Danica for 3 years and genuinely thought they had something special. She had a natural kindness and caring vibe that hooked him. Matt remembered one time he told Danica about a friend of his who got cheated on. Danica looked Matt dead in the eyes and said, "I could never do that to anyone. Loyalty and honesty are everything." She said it with such conviction that Matt bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. She was like no one else he'd ever met, and her sincerity made Danica feel totally one of a kind, like the perfect fit for him. So, discovering her betrayal hit him like a ton of bricks and completely shattered his image of her. She'd been playing him the whole time and was a complete and total liar. Something had been off between Matt and Danica for a while. He felt it in his gut. Something just out of sight, nagging at the back of his mind. Danica had been acting distant and secretive, especially with her phone, and some of the things she said didn't match up, like her whereabouts and which friends she was hanging out with. But Matt trusted her. He really did. He never had any reason to distrust her in the past, but the lousy feeling grew stronger. Matt noticed Danica had started following his barber on Instagram. She began liking his posts regularly, the ones that showcased his outstanding barbering skills. It seemed harmless to him at first. His barber was about 5 years older than him, and someone he'd known and trusted for years, long before he even started dating Danica. He was incredibly skilled, and he'd been cutting Matt's hair since he was a teenager. They'd developed a close friendship over time, to the point where he even gave Matt a discount on haircuts as a loyal client. The comments between Danica and his barber started off as simple compliments about his work, but over time they got more personal and flirtatious. Matt wasn't usually jealous, and he always trusted his girlfriend completely, but something just felt off. His instincts were practically screaming at him. He could no longer ignore that nagging feeling, so Matt checked her phone when she left the room. He knew it was an invasion of privacy but couldn't resist, and boom, there it was, solid proof of her cheating on him, with his barber of all people. They'd exchanged hundreds of intimate texts and made secret rendezvous plans. There were even some pretty explicit photos they'd sent each other. Turns out they'd been at it for months, all behind his back. Matt was utterly devastated by what he found and sat staring at Danica's phone, gobsmacked until she came into the room and saw him going through it. He'd never seen her move so fast. She practically leaped across the room and snatched it out of his hands. She saw what he'd been looking at, and all she said was, "Shit." That's when the yelling started. He was angry, pissed off. He couldn't believe that Danica could do that to him. She sank to the floor and cried while he raged at her for 20 minutes until he cooled off a bit. He told her she needed to explain herself. She said that her relationship with Matt's barber had started innocently as just a friendship, but had evolved into something more. They'd been meeting up secretly for months, going behind his back and lying about it all along. Matt tried to process it. He wanted to think of a way to make things work out between himself and Danica. She didn't give him a chance. Now that Matt knew the truth, she broke up with him and said she would be with Matt's barber from now on. Then she left. It felt like his whole world had crumbled. Why had Danica lied to him for so long? They had always prided themselves on being open and honest with each other. He never thought she'd betray his trust like this. Matt couldn't fathom why she would persist in deceiving him, pretending everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. They'd faced issues before, always working through them together. Why not this time? Now he was left with a million questions and a broken heart. Was their relationship ever real to her? Did she truly love him? Or was he just a convenience? He thought they were planning a future together, but it seemed like he was living in a different reality. Matt didn't think there was any way to salvage his relationship with Danica or his barber. Most importantly, Matt had to find somewhere else to get his hair cut, which was a major pain. Matt had been with his barber for years, and he knew precisely what Matt liked. Second in importance, Matt had to find a way to move on from Danica and her rotten betrayal. He decided he would block Danica and his barber on all social media. But before he did, there was one thing left for him to do. Matt left a review for his barber online. The haircuts from this barber are exceptional as long as you don't mind him stealing your girl behind your back. Thank you for watching today's video. Please let me know if you enjoyed this content by pushing the like button. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.